Hey guys, how's it going? How are you all doing? Welcome back to a brand new Call of Duty mobile video. And guys, after about 3 days into season 9, I have finally made this video that I have promised for so long now. So as you can see by the title of this video, I'll be showing you the top 5 loadouts that you can use for this season. And I normally always do one of these videos each season, but with the addition of the Gunsmith, then this one should be a pretty interesting video. These videos normally do pretty well, so be sure you go ahead and hit a like on the video. If we can get maybe 500 likes, that would be great. And also be sure you go ahead and subscribe if you have not yet subscribed. Alright guys, so we actually have 10 loadout slots right now, and I did make use of all 10 of them. However, in this video I'll be showing you the 5 best ones that I've actually made. So if you want to see the other 5, be sure you go ahead and let me know, because I don't want this video to be a 20-30 minutes long video. So as I always do in every loadout video, I have the Rust 79U, and it did get a slight nerf. I'm not sure what was nerfed on it, but the Rust is still a pretty good gun. As I always say every season, the Rust is here to stay, and it probably will never die out. You know, this is one of the best SMGs in the game. It's very solid. So let me just show you the build that I have, and I'll just be showing you the attachments that I have on the gun, and I'll also be showing you the perks that I use. So we actually are not going to be using any muzzle. We're also not going to be using any barrel. We're going to be using the iron sight for the stock. We are using the first stock. We didn't need to unlock the rest of those because we are using the OWC skeleton stock. We're going to be using a perk. We're going to be using the double kill bullet recovery perk. We're not going to be extending the mag, so that's the reason why I decided to use that perk. Then we're going to be using this so we can improve the hip fire, which is the first laser. We're also going to be using the strike foregrip. It doesn't have that much of a recoil, but you know, this is still pretty useful. And for the last thing, we're going to be using the tripled grip tape so we can actually increase the ADS speed, so we can, you know, win more close range gunfights. And guys, one thing that you're going to notice throughout this video is most of my Gunsmith builds, they have to deal with the accuracy, and they also have to deal with the ADS time. For the perk, we are using lightweight so we can run a lot faster. We'll also be using ghost and dead silence throughout this video, except for the search and destroy loadout. The second loadout, this is actually my go-to loadout right now, and this is a QQ9 loadout. I did make a video on it yesterday, so if you want, you can just go ahead and watch it. That is my most recent video. The QQ9 is, in my opinion, the best gun in the game right now, because the Rust and the cordite got nerfed. And in my previous videos, you would have seen that I said that the QQ9 was actually the 3rd best gun in the game. So the attachments that we have on this are, you're gonna have to actually upgrade the gun, because we are using some pretty high level attachments here. So again, we're not gonna be using a muzzle, we're not gonna be using a barrel. I wanted to use a barrel, but it was not really necessary. And again, we're gonna be using the iron sight. For the stock, we are using the YKM stock, YKM light stock I should say, and this is because it gives you ADS speed. It doesn't give you like a lot of ADS speed, but you really don't need any more of this, and it also just takes off your bullet spread accuracy, so that is pretty good. We're not going to be using any perk. For the laser, we're going to be using the tactical laser, which is the OWC like tactical laser, because again, we want to bring up that ADS speed so that we can, you know, pull out our guns a lot faster and win a lot more gunfight. For the underbarrel, we are using the strike foregrip. Again, the two things I focus on mainly are the ADS and the recoil control. Again, we're going to be using a mag here. We're going to be using the 45 round extended mag, and this does take off a bit of movement speed. And the reason why I use this was because if you did watch my first QQ9 video, the thing that I said I had a problem with the QQ9 was, I said the problem I had with the QQ9 was you have to reload like after every kill. So this basically gives you like 2.5 kills before you have to reload, and if you get your shots on target, then you can pretty much kill 3 people before you ever need to reload again. For the last perk, we're also going to be using stippled grip tape, and again, I think that this is the best grip tape right here, because you know, I use this one a lot. I think I use this one on most of my classes. And the perks that I'm using again are, I am using agile just because I can get that faster ADS time. However, you don't have to use agile. I suggest you use lightweight, because we are using an attachment that is going to slow down our movement speed a bit, so you should be using agile to bring that up more. It all depends on your preference, but you can use agile or the movement perk. So guys, we're actually moving on from SMGs now, so let me step where the AR are, and we're obviously going to be using the Kane-44, which again is one of the top 3 guns in the game in my opinion right now to upgrade. And I think I'm going to be doing one of those videos with the top 10 guns that you should upgrade for this season or something like that. And we're going to be using the full 5 attachments that are on here. So let me just go through the Gunsmith. Again, we don't use muzzle, we don't use barrel, and we're going to be using the default iron sight. For the stock, we are using the light stock again. Some of my builds are pretty much similar because, you know, I go for the same thing. For the perk, we're going to be using FMJ just so we can, you know, wall bang a lot easier, and we can like get double kills and triple kills and stuff like that. We're also going to be using the OCW tactical again. I said the reason why I actually use this, just so we can get more ADS speed, and also when you're ADSing, you're going to be a lot more accurate because the bullets won't be spraying all over the place. For the foregrip, we're going to be using the strap foregrip again. This is, in my opinion, the best foregrip. We actually don't need any ammunition because the QQ9 actually has, the KN44 actually has about 30 rounds per ammo, I think. So I don't think that we necessarily will need any extended mag or any fast reload or anything. And for the last thing, we're going to be using the staple grip. So for the perks now, guys, we're actually going to be using this thing again. Well, you're definitely going to need agile. No, normally I'd say use lightweight, but you're going to definitely need agile for this class. And again, we're going to be using ghost and dead silence. And once again, guys, we're actually back to SMG, and the SMG that we will be using again is the GKS. And if you didn't know, the GKS actually received a buff in the previous season 9 update. I'm not sure what the buff actually was, but I know that GKS is a lot better, and this was one of the guns that I was waiting on for season 9 when the Gunsmith came out. To me, the GKS has always been an underrated weapon. But let me just show you what I am using for this. And again, we're not using any muzzle. This is kind of weird though, because we are going to be using barrel. And the thing about this loadout, the GKS doesn't have to be at a high level to use, because the good perks are actually when you're starting off. So we're going to be using the MP light barrel, and we're going to be using the short one because we want some more movement speed and some more ADS as well, because for this one we want to be moving extra fast through the map. For the optics, we are using the red dot, but guys, listen to me, guys. If you have the legendary GKS, which is tactical unicorn, then I suggest you use the red dot one, because that iron sight is extremely hard to use. However, if you're not going to be using the legendary GKS, you're just going to be using a normal GKS, then I suggest that you just go ahead with the normal iron sight. But if not, then you can obviously use this. Yeah, we're not going to be using any stock. If again, as I said, if you won't be using any, if you'll be using the default GKS, then I suggest that you go with this double kill bullet recovery perk. For the laser, we'll be using the RTC, so we can improve that hip fire. I absolutely love that laser, guys. Underbarrel will be using the stripe foregrip. Again, I love that so much, and it also doesn't take off a lot from the gun. It's just gonna take off some movement speed, but we did get a bit of movement speed from the barrel that we have, so that is absolutely fine. We're not going to be using any extended mag, and again, we're going to be using this tripled grip tape. And guys, the last loadout that I'm gonna be showing you today is this DRH loadout, and this is a new gun. It is a Scar, and this is actually a very underrated gun in my opinion. It is like one of my top 3 ARs right now. This also doesn't have to be at a high level, because the best attachments for this are at the beginning of the gun, if that makes sense. So we're not going to be using any muzzle, we're not going to be using any barrel. The optics we're going to be using is the default one. We're not going to be using any stock. I don't know why I didn't have any perk on, but let me just put on the FMJ perk. We're gonna be using the OWC laser light, that is not, so we can get more ADS speed, even though ADS speed right for this gun is not really that necessary because the ADS time is pretty good. But we're also gonna be using the strike foregrip for the underbarrel. We're gonna be adding ammo to this, so we're gonna be using the 25 round OTM mag. And again, we're going to be using the staple grip tape again. Alright guys, that is it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. This one was a bit, weird. It did take me a long time to make all these guns and actually test them out, because I don't want to just make some random guns and then they're not good. So hopefully I will do a part 2 depending on the response to this video, because I also have a lot of guns that I didn't put in this video because the Type 25 came back. I wanted to add the DLQ and also the KRM. So if you want to see those videos, guys, make sure you go ahead and hit a like on this video. And because it's a new season, we are doing daily uploads and we are on a streak, guys, so I will more than likely see you tomorrow.